Hello, gorgeous.
You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
You're tearing me apart!
On your butt.
Round up the usual suspects.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hi.
Say
My
hi.
name is Louis.
I'm usually Princess Naomi, but today I am the Blue Fairy.
Blue Fairy Naomi.
I'm the Blue Fairy.
The Blue Fairy Naomi?
Yes.
Would that be it?
From Pinocchio. I had to think about that for a second. The Blue Fairy.
I think of AI when I think of the Blue Fairy.
That's because you have no taste. We've established that.
No. Because
and they totally ripped on Disney for that reference.
That was Spielberg. That was Spieley and his little fucking neutering of Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece.
Zach, are you hearing this?
Yes.
Are you hearing this?
You hear it?
Are you
it,
hearing this?
right?
Is so mean.
It's not.
It really
is not.
is. It really is.
So who else is on? Come on, guys.
Comment. Say hi.
Yes.
So we don't feel lonely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even though we're right next to each other.
Well.
But anyways, my name is Louis. This is actually Midnight Movie Nerds Disney Edition.
What? The Disney Showdown at last.
She's convinced me to do this.
Right down to the tiara. That, yeah.
I had to man it up a little bit with the
the
Vikings.
Ride of the Valkyries,
Yes.
kind of whatever the hell you're doing there.
But you know what? Hey, I gotta
You gotta
do something.
man up the
Gotta
tiara.
man up a
The
little
tiara
bit.
is so pretty, though.
It's my Wreck-It Ralph version, you know?
There you go, I guess. There's only 2 people on now. We're losing people.
Yeah. That's because you keep saying, I'm putting on the video.
What video?
The video of us talking.
Ah.
All right, so let's start this bitch.
Okay.
Maybe?
All right. Let's get started. Okay.
All right, so did you want to go over some of the comments and throwback from everybody?
Yeah. Let me get to that because I'm not on that page. I really wasn't proactive in this.
Uh-huh.
And that was my idea.
I actually really appreciate it. Everybody that actually commented and actually participate part of our little post that we've been posting lately. And, you know, trying to get that interaction with everybody. And we really want you guys to be part of our family and interact with us like that. So basically what we did is we have broken in the Disney animated classics into 3 sections. Classic Disney, Renaissance Disney, and then modern Disney. So crap, and then more crap.
Just shh, and shh. Anyway, he has no soul. We have all established this.
Hey,
so
I'm sorry. I have no appreciation for a man that steals.
Separate the man from the art.
I know, but you know, you want to talk about classic animation, talk about Ray Fletcher, Gulliver Travels, all that stuff. That's real animation.
Hey, you know what? You have madman on a mic. Use your time there.
I shall.
Today is Disney because it is magical and has been for generations.
Magical.
It has been for generations. So our first one that we put up was Classic Disney, and we had some really good comments on it.
Which I actually agree with. Yes, I like the classic Disney movies.
So do you want to do some shout outs to people about what they put on there?
Sure, okay. You do it. You
Me?
take it. Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever. So we were kind of saying that it could be any classic Disney that was pre-1980. We did put up some photos just to kind of give an idea, but we got some feedback about photos we didn't even put up there, which I think is great. And I think a lot of it came from, what do you remember from your childhood? What do you appreciate the most? And what really surprised us is that Robin Hood
that was impressive.
A big, one that was commented on, which I really love. I love Robin Hood. I think that is...
I'm not that much of a fan. I've always appreciated more like Sword in the Stone because I'm a Arthurian. I love my Arthurian
Which,
legends.
shout out to William Phoenix. He picked Sword in the Stone.
I know.
So that's pretty cool. And then some of the other ones. So Ross, he said The Rescuers, which I don't know when that came out.
That came
was
out
a little bit later,
that was
right?
70s. That was 70s,
cool.
yeah.
And Nikki said Robin Hood and Alice in Wonderland, which I am a big Alice in Wonderland fan. Okay, here's what I love about Alice in Wonderland is the fact that she eats and drinks everything that comes in her way and thinks it's going to solve her problems, which is kind of my approach to life. Sub in some liquor rather than magic potions, and we got a Friday night in Naomi's world. So let's see. Kristen, she also said Alice in Wonderland. And then Molly said that she didn't really know what we were saying is best.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting because if you really wanted to, like, if you were judging, are you talking animation quality? Because, like, Snow White is considered really up there from how they did it in terms of the later ones. But you're dealing with Disney when it was doing hand-drawn.
Yeah, but Snow White is a complete blatant ripoff. Fuck that.
It is, but the style, the animation for that time, it was one of the first.
It was a ripoff.
Feature length.
It wasn't the first.
It was one of the first, is what I said. Pay attention. Clear out your ears a little bit. All right.
You know what? I got it covered by the freaking tiara.
So another one came in, Megan. She said Jungle Book.
I love Jungle Book.
And Robin Hood.
I love the Jungle Book. That was one of those movies that I played on repeat constantly.
I totally, as a parent, feel for, what is it? Bagheera,
yeah.
The panda.
Bagheera, yeah.
I feel for him. I feel any parent when he starts just laying down going, I told him so. I told him so. And he just walks away. Like, I feel like as a parent, anyone can identify with him. I really, really do.
That's true.
And it's like, I've not known any man that totally doesn't understand Baloo.
Yeah.
I mean, like, his song, what's the song? It's just the bare necessities. Yes. I think a lot of men appreciate Baloo.
Yeah.
I always like the monkeys, though.
King Louie.
A man's great fire. That's what I'm gonna do. Ooh, Scooby-Doo.
You see, Dank brought up the ear infection. I'm very tempted to go and get my ear infection real quick.
Anyway.
So, because I'm a biology nerd and I really I love my pharmacy world, I actually have a little figure of ear infection and the little it's kind of like an increased version of what the actual bacteria infection.
He will do anything possible to steer the conversation from what it is, which is Disney and its magic. So before we move on from classic, what do you consider? I know you're not a big Disney fan. You're not a classic Disney fan at that. But what do you consider to be your favorite classic Disney movie?
Sleeping Beauty. By far.
Okay, why?
By far. Just because the animation style, I love the animation stuff. I love the fucking music.
I love that movie because the kings get drunk in it. And let me tell you, Merryweather, again, you are going to see a trend in the characters I love. She uses her wand to make cookies when she's frustrated. That is a bitch I can get on board with. Because you ever see her? She's like, that would make me happy. And she makes like a freaking cookie.
Yeah.
I love Merryweather. I want to freaking
I just love
want to be
Sleeping Beauty
Merryweather
because it has one of the best villains out of all the Disney villains.
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent is a badass.
Oh,
you want to talk about a complete and utter badass bitch. That is her. And
I always
when
love
she
that
turns
line
into
when
a
she
dragon.
walks into the party and she's like, oh, what an awkward situation. It's just, oh my God. She is like the total ice bitch. I love her so much. So that's a really good one. I really like it. And I also like the fact that the whole pink and blue debate.
Yes.
That was actually from the animator studio where they couldn't agree because Cinderella's dress, although it was silver in the movie, a lot of people portrayed it as blue.
Yeah.
So they were worried that Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty would look too close if they were in blue dresses. So I always found it interesting that leaked into the movie, that you can see those little things, because I think a lot of the times when you think of animation, you think of those features, you don't think about the animator's personality going in there.
Yeah.
And I really love it. And I love that Merryweather was just kept zapping the dress to blue. Or when she's trying the dress on and she's like, it looks awful. And the other fairy's like, well, that's because it's on you, dear. I love it. It
is the snippiest. It is the wittiest dialogue.
Bitchy ladies all through it. I love that movie. Now,
and then on top of that, the music. The music is something to behold.
Right, Nikki? She is pretty evil, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But the music, I have the vinyl of the original soundtrack and the original actual music composition. But oh my God, I fucking love the music from the Disney version. And that's what it is. It's a giant musical. If you think about it, it is literally a musical because there's not really much dialogue.
You hated musicals, though.
I do, but it's a good musical.
Yeah, right.
And it's just beautifully done. It emotes every motion. It encapsulates you from the beginning to the end. It is why I like fantasy films. It's why I watch movies like Lord of the Rings, why I love those type of high fantasy.
Right.
And that kind of captures it without pandering to the 9-year-old princess obsessed girls.
Yeah, but so my two favorites would be Alice in Wonderland, definitely, and then also I actually have a soft spot for Pinocchio.
I like
only
Pinocchio
because of the pieces that are in it, like when they go to Pleasure Island and all the kids are getting freaking stoned and drunk, and then they're turned into goats for some random reason. I love it. It's just so random. It's like you're tripped out on drugs. It's a really, I think that's why I have an appreciation for that one. And I also love the cat in it. I love Figaro.
Yeah. I also actually loved Dumbo as a kid. That was actually one of the ones that my parents used to play on repeat for me, and I
hate Dumbo. Again, as a parent, that scene when she's with the crying and he's in the trunk, I can't. No, I can't get on board with Dumbo.
I don't know.
No. All right. So, are we good with classic Disney?
What else is there, classic Disney wise? Because I might be missing something, and I don't even know.
In terms of the movie, so that was the one. Snow White, Dumbo, Bambi.
Bambi. Everybody thinks it's super depressing. I don't know about that.
That is because you don't have a soul. Oh, and then one of my other favorites from this time was Peter Pan.
I fucking love Peter Pan. That is a glorious movie.
It's so
I just love
beautiful.
That.
It is beauty in animation is what it is.
It really is. And a well-done storyline, too.
Yeah.
And then it gave us movies like Hook afterwards because of the way that Disney did it. So I love that. Obviously, Peter Pan was a book originally, but Hook was based off of the Disney version. Let's be honest.
I'm telling you, I freaking love that scene, though, when, like, the dad trips over everything and he's, like, in the corner and everyone's like, poor Nana. I freaking love that scene. It's those things. It's Disney, I think, when it was at almost a peak. It peaked very early. Let's see. You never liked Pinocchio. Nikki, what is that?
Oh, Fantasia. Yes, you're very right. That's another music video, though. It's a giant music video.
What the hell is up? It is like Beavis and Butthead when they're stoned is watching Fantasia.
I loved Fantasia as a kid.
The thing with Fantasia, like there's the thing with the hippos and they're all in skirts, and then there's those weird crocodiles that come in, and it's this weird pseudo-sexual tripped out scene. I cannot get into Fantasia. I
love those trippy drug movies.
You totally would, though. That movie is totally up your alley. And I'm sitting here like, what the hell is happening? Got the flowers and there's mushrooms, and it's like there's the first case of shrooms happening here in Disney animation.
Hey. It sparks the imagination.
And then I guess you could also throw Figment ode to it. And then I guess you could also talk about Lady and the Tramp was during this time too. Another classic Disney movie.
That was fucking great too. It was weird. I liked a lot more classic than Renaissance. Yeah. Because Renaissance, I think I liked one or two. We'll go into that now, but
yeah, we will. I feel like early Disney. Again, you actually had Disney playing a part in it, so there were very stringent rules. There was a method, and even though the stories were clearly ripped off, even then, there was a beauty to it, and something about the classic, wholesome nature of that time, I think, that leaks into it a little bit.
Yeah.
With Lady and the Tramp, it's so proper.
It really is.
And I love that.
And the music in that is glorious, too.
Absolutely.
That was the other thing. The classic Disney, the music was something to behold. And I think Disney has... They made that like a cornerstone of their animation, which is very different than most animation studios. I think.
Absolutely. So the next one we're talking about is the Disney Renaissance, which we kind of said was 1980 to about 2000.
Yes.
But asterisk, we did not include Pixar, which was kind of getting its start in the 90s. So we didn't include that. We wanted to focus in strictly on Disney because we feel like Pixar has always made its way as very unique films, very different stylistically from Disney, even though they are now the same.
Pixar is an elevated version of Disney. So, I think Pixar, like their ratio to good to bad is a lot better than Disney. Yeah. I think Pixar maybe out of their whole catalog, they have maybe 2 misses, and those are usually like the sequels.
Which ones would you say were the misses?
Cars and Plane.
I hate Cars and I hate Planes. I hate those two.
So I think those are the 2 misses.
I absolutely hate those movies. I never got into them.
I like the second Cars. The second Cars was actually pretty decent. I never got into
any of them.
But the third one was horrible. The what do you call it? But everything else was really good with Pixar, and it is elevated.
So, going on to Renaissance, some of the comments we got from it was Erin. Hi, Erin, if you are watching. She said Aladdin, Mulan, and Hercules were her favorite.
I hate Hercules. I'm sorry.
Hercules, I'm like...
Hercules, Hunchback, and Tarzan, those movies because I read those
the
books.
Music in Hunchback. I love the music in Hunchback is what I love. But let's see, there's some loser here. Lewis saying Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. So we'll just ignore that loser.
Look at my beautiful Beauty and the Beast thing because I love that movie. And then Aladdin, I loved it because I was in a play when I was in elementary school.
Hey, Nisha,
that was
by the
glorious.
Way. Anyway, Nikki again says Aladdin, so you got some agreeing there.
I love Aladdin. The music in that it's one of those movies that it doesn't feel like an animation.
What, Aladdin?
Yeah.
I think the heart and soul of Aladdin is in Genie and Robin Williams.
I think it has this fast-paced environment where
does. And it also
feels like it just moves.
It's one
like
of
boom,
those
boom,
strong
boom, boom.
male characters, which was not Disney's forte in the beginning.
But Disney also, if you notice, the huge movement from, I think what differentiates the classic to the Renaissance is the fact of the pacing. The pacing and the elevation of animation.
Well, but I also think one of the things that you really, and we commented on this before, was the fact that when the Renaissance, they had more strong male characters because they were trying to reach boys, as opposed to originally when they were trying to reach and only really targeted girls. I mean, you had Jungle Book, you had some very niche ones, but if you look at the movies that we even posted on that, you had Hercules, you had Tarzan, you had Hunchback, you had Lion King, you have Aladdin. There are strong male leads in it.
I think also Disney was trying to kind of basically break that gap. That gap between male and female, especially for the kids. It's like, no, let's make it for everybody. Let's make it for every single person to be able to enjoy whatever your gender is. And I think that's where Disney started jumping way ahead of the curve in a lot of aspects because they actually allowed people, guys, boys, to actually love the princesses. And the ones that were quote unquote for girls,
right?
They gave that accessibility to it because let's be honest, The Little Mermaid, I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie. It's
and
my favorite from this period.
For girls, quote unquote.
I love that movie because of Ursula.
But that's the thing,
that's a bitch I can get on board with,
right? Yeah. It differentiated and it allowed for all genders to actually be able to identify with it.
So looking at the results that comes in, it looks like it's kind of a three-way tie between Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast during that time, which are the ones I remember iconically during that time, because that's really when we were growing up. You're talking the early, mid-90s when these were coming out. So I think especially the millennial-esque age group, that's what they're going to cling to because those were the really big ones that came out. And Lion King.
The Lion King was this huge thing.
It was huge. It's got that epic opening.
I'm not a huge fan of the Lion King.
Okay, well that's because again you have no soul.
What
I love about
Beauty and the Beast,
dude. What I love about Lion King is that it made a Shakespearean story accessible to kids. In a way that they could. You could introduce it to the first time. Complex concepts could be introduced to children in a way that they could find accessible.
I guess.
It's true. If I was trying to introduce the idea of you're dealing with very dark concepts, you're dealing with death and betrayal and revenge. How do you approach that to a younger demographic in a way that they're not traumatized by that and they're actually engaged by the story? I think The Lion King was a really powerful way of doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it was really good because it did take Disney into a darker direction, yet the movie overall is very light and very happy. So I really appreciate Lion King for that. And I love the music in it. Actually, I'm going to tell you, one time I was going to go in for an interview with Disney and I was like, do you think it would be inappropriate if I busted out a jumpsuit that was covered with sequins and started singing The Circle of Life? Do you think that would get me a job at Disney? And, everyone else was like, that'd be a little much. I was like, I don't think so. Not for Disney.
Probably not, honestly. Probably not.
I'd stand down.
Believe it or not, you might not with that. At least from what I remember of cast members. So, yeah, let's be honest now.
See, what is Nisha saying?
Spot on. Spot on, Naomi.
Encouraging you to care for the characters.
It does. It does. Especially movies like Little Mermaid, that it's about this journey of this person that wants to be somebody else.
I love Little Mermaid. I love it so much. I love Sebastian. I love Flounder.
Oh my God, yeah.
There ain't nothing about that scene with the chef.
Dude, that is one of the best sequences.
I freaking love the chef in it. I love that it's got evil characters in it. I love Ursula. I love the music in it. I love everything about that movie.
Eels.
And I love Prince Eric. I really do. I like him a lot because there's not a lot of princes that I really could get on board with
Prince
Disney.
Philip. That's the best one.
Prince Philip, he's okay. I love that scene when Prince Philip, sorry to go back, first sees Aurora in her little bassinet and he's like, what? Like, this is my future bride. She's like literally 2 weeks old. Like, and he's like an 8-year-old. Can you imagine? I
love the horse's reaction.
I know, right?
The horse's reaction is priceless. There's not a Disney movie where I could actually say, holy shit, the animal's reaction is so spot on.
Nikki, seriously, the opening line is, hey, this is a story about a lion for Lion King. I can see it, though. It's just right in your face. But
and this is also when the animators were actually going completely apeshit and putting little Easter eggs, you may call them.
But you know what I love about Lion King too is Nathan Lane doing the voice of Timon.
Yeah,
I think that is one of my favorite parts of the movie, and I also love the little guy. Mufasa's little helper, the little bird. I'm blanking on his name right now.
I don't remember.
I love him. I love him because he's such a smart ass. I freaking love him.
That was the other thing. Aladdin. Come on. The fucking parrot. The Godfrey. Oh my god, dude. That is one of the funniest characters ever. And it goes back to the sarcasm, the dark humor of this character. It is fucking glorious.
Right.
I mean, come on. How many times do you want to think?
But again, Jafar is also one of those characters I really like because he is nowhere near as cool as Maleficent, but he's got that same
he's a badass
crush
too.
For power, and I freaking love him. Just like I love Captain Hook in Peter Pan. Like I love those true classic villains that are just evil to be evil.
The only thing that I will say about the live action version of Aladdin, Jafar was neutered. They neutered Jafar. And it pissed me off.
I love the live action Aladdin. That scene when he goes in and he starts talking about the jams. And he's like, I was literally in a little vessel for 10,000 years. And that was less uncomfortable than this moment. I love it.
I love the live action version. Don't get me wrong. But holy fuck, they neutered him.
They really did.
As a villain.
They did. But then they also amped up Jasmine and her role. And because they were trying to bring in feminism a little bit to it. But I liked it. I thought it was really good. And what I really appreciated was the fact that Will Smith did not try to recreate.
Oh, no.
He made the role his own. And I think that's why it was successful. And that was the only way he could make it successful. But now that we'll actually go
into another episode that's live action because there's a lot.
But kind of going into it also, one of the comments that came in about Beauty and the Beast was a beautiful comment from Richard about how much he loved Beauty and the Beast because it reminded him of his relationship with his wife and how amazing it was. And I was like, feels I've got this soulless guy and this other guy is professing his love via this wonderful channel. So Richard, let me give you a major shout out for giving me the feels. Your wife is a very, very lucky woman. I thought it was the sweetest thing ever. Thanks. I know. He's totally showing you up.
I love you, Carrie Ann.
Melissa, which one haven't you seen? Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast for live action? Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Will
Smith, no, Nikki, you're right. Will Smith was amazing. I think he did an amazing job for what he was given, and especially since no one thought he was going to do a good job in it. That's right. Fix your tiara.
You know what? It was one of those things that it was just like the Joker that they said, nobody could replace it. Yeah. Nobody could replace Jack Nicholson.
I was
all that
completely dubious when I heard it was Will Smith. I was like, I don't even want to see it. This is going to be terrible. He can't be Genie. I think he nailed it. There was actually no one I think who could have taken on that role and made it his own as well. No, they were going up against what was considered an icon. Robin Williams he already passed away by that time. He had so much stacked against him. You really needed an actor who could stand up to that.
I think anybody else could have too.
I don't think anybody else could have. I don't think they could have. It took a sense of comedy, timing, be able to sing, engage, and a certain personality that not a lot of people have.
I guess. So, I'm just glad that they didn't put one of these random idiots from SNL that can't do what they needed to do. So I was glad that Will Smith got it because he actually did a freaking phenomenal job. I'll give him props for that.
So are we ready to go into the last bit, which would be modern?
Sure.
All right, so modern we posted today, so there wasn't as much time to get feedback. We still got some good comments, though, and I was actually surprised by a lot of them because Meet the Robinsons was a really big favorite.
I didn't like that movie at
I
all.
thought it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. On
So
any
what
level,
what else
but-
is in modern? Let's see.
So we some of the ones we listed, because there weren't actually that many that were listed during that period, was Chicken Little.
Ugh.
Hey, that's a cute movie. It's
It
got
is
its
not.
moments. It's got its
It
moments.
is not.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Atlantis.
I love that movie. That is glorious.
It really is. Let's go back to that. Meet the Robinsons. Bolt, which I've never actually seen.
Yeah.
Which one's it? Treasure Island? Is that one?
Oh, Treasure Planet.
Treasure
That
Planet.
is a freaking glorious movie.
Brother Bear.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Wreck-It Ralph 1.
I love that.
And
That is
I'm going to throw
great.
2 in there just because they go together, even though 2 came out later.
2 is glorious. too.
I love number 2, dude. Okay, Lilo and Stitch.
That's a great movie.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Moana.
I love Moana.
And then Tangled.
All right. So between those, I would probably say Atlantis and Tangled are my favorites.
Really?
Yep.
I don't
Quickly
agree.
followed by
don't
Moana right after, and then Lilo right after that.
I love Tangled. I actually just rewatched it today with my kiddos because they all love that movie. They love the chameleon. I love it. I love
I
it so
love
much.
that
I think
movie.
it's hilarious. I love Flynn Rider in it. I think it's one of those things where they were allowing themselves to have fun with it.
And I agree 100%. It felt like something outside of the Disney norm. And
It
same
did.
thing with Atlantis. It felt very outside
Atlantis
of
was just awesome. That's all sorts of awesome.
it.
I
Don't
love
watch
it
the
so
sequel,
much.
guys. Do not watch the sequel.
But
you'll be severely
I gotta tell you,
disappointed.
Wreck-It Ralph, I avoided that for so long because I thought it sounded like a really stupid idea
Oh, it
for a
was
movie.
so good.
And I actually saw the sequel first with my daughter.
Really?
Yeah. So my daughter wanted to go to the movies, and she's like, "I want to go see Wreck-It Ralph too." And I was like, "All right, why not?" The ads for it looked kind of funny. When I saw it, I went home and watched the first one right after that because I wanted to understand it better. But I loved the second one, so I loved the second
the
one.
second one is
dude.
glorious.
That
When the
is
princesses
Disney
are talking.
poking fun at itself so much. I love it
So
so
good.
much. I love Vanellope. She is my spirit.
Yeah, she really is.
I love it. Yes, Vanellope is proudly. I love Vanellope so much, and I love her song about Slaughter Race. I love it. I love that Disney was really poking fun at itself in this movie.
I'm more like what's the guy the
Which one?
the guy with the wrench,
What?
the guy that ends
Fix
up in
It
the
Felix?
bar. Yeah, Fix It Felix.
I like how he gets drunk in the bar. It's so great. He's so
I'm more
happy.
like Fix It Felix for sure.
You really are. But then I really like Moana too, but I have an appreciation for The Rock that will not go away. So I really like the fact that he did the voice of
He did a great job.
Maui.
Too.
I
He did
love
a
that
really
movie.
good
I love
job.
that a lot. My son really, really, really loves Moana. It's one of his favorite movies.
Tangled is one of those movies that I actually saw originally, and I was like, this is garbage. But
Okay, Nikki, you need to see Tangled and Moana and correct that issue right
yeah, seriously. Okay, Nikki, we'll be talking later.
now. Wait, of Aladdin 3 times. Oh, okay, Nisha, yes. The live version of Aladdin. It's amazing. I think
It
I've seen
really
it 3 or
is.
4 times as well. I saw it twice in theaters.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it. Well, I liked it, and my daughter liked it that much. Molly,
Wow.
she loved it. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Molly Lynn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? What was it? Tangled. I saw it the first time, and I was like, this is whatever. Second time I saw it, I fucking loved it. I was like, holy
My
shit.
daughter, Molly, she says that I am Mother Gothel in that movie, hardcore. And have you noticed, for anyone who likes Star Trek, how close Mother Gothel looks to Deanna from TNG?
Yeah, that is true. That is really
Coincidence? I think not. But anyway, I love the song Mother Knows
Oh.
Best. That is like my mantra to both my girls and my little man. Let's be real. They can't leave me ever. No.
true.
So it's really funny though, because my youngest one, she says Mother Awful. So she can't pronounce Gothel. So she says Mother Awful.
Freudian slip there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I love that movie so much. I just think it was fun. It was playful. And I think that's what Disney, they thrive when they steer into the skid of playful and they don't try to be too cerebral. They don't try to be more than what they are. Because I think some of their failures are when they kind of try to go off the beaten track. And like Hunchback is an example, I think, of them really going for very, very high level, kind of an unapproachable story for kids and trying to and
They
just
butchered that story though.
the only thing I love is the song, the Out There song, the beginning song. I love that one so much because I envision that like the evil guy in it, I forget what his name was.
I don't know.
Anyway, the evil guy in it is Michigan, where I came from. And I am the hunchback and I escaped to Florida out in the sun. That's how I envision that movie. I love that song. I love it so much. And I love the music. I love the bells at the beginning. Like, Bells. I love that though, because I love that kind of like very, I don't know, old school style music where it's like overwhelming with drums and I don't know, organ music and all that.
Drums?
I like it. I like it so much. Brandon. The tribal drums.
Manbitesmedia film reference there, guys. But yeah, no, I actually really enjoy when I went to the Renaissance. I enjoyed those movies they felt like classics.
Yeah.
I don't like when they are trying to tackle historical movies because they completely and utterly butchered them. With the exception of Peter Pan and like Peter Pan, they did exceptional modifications that allowed it to be okay. And honestly, they kind of redeemed themselves with Hook in particular, where they went that darker path. So it kind of got that little redemption there.
I don't think we could end this without talking about the elephant in the room, Disney's probably the latest financial success, which would be Frozen 1 and 2. What are your thoughts on that?
I hate them.
You really do?
I really cannot stand Frozen 1 and 2.
I went into the first one and like the first 20 minutes, especially that song Love is an Open Door, when I didn't realize what was like, later on it made sense what they were doing, but like I was watching, I'm like, what is happening here? My daughter was 6 years old when that came out, maybe 5 or 6, so she was singing the songs every day, all day.
Shoot me.
I mean, like it was...
I just remember hearing that stupid freaking Let It Go song. I just, every time somebody sang that song, I just looked at it.
But there are elements of that movie that I like. I like the fact that they were taking a new approach to the Snow Queen because it is a different take on a classic tale.
Yeah.
I liked it. And I like the fact that the true love in the end, because everyone has seen it. If you haven't, I don't care. Spoiler alert. The fact that it wasn't a man that saved her. Yeah. I did like that message was in there. I did think it was a girl power, and it was Disney trying to make a girl power movie.
And they did it right because it wasn't over the top. I'll give you that. But my favorite scene of Frozen is actually the snow monster, the abominable snowman. I love that sequence.
I love Anna when she's like, "It isn't nice to throw people." She reminds me of something I would do.
I love the snow monster at the very end, or the rock monster, right?
No, he's a snow monster.
Snow monster?
Yeah, he was a snow monster.
I love that guy, and I want like a little, you know how they did for Ice Age, the squirrel sequences. I want that for the other movies, hopefully, because I know they're gonna do sequels because they've made so much fucking money off of these.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So please, Disney, if you're watching, spin off with the snowman and maybe what's the guy that melts or wants to melt?
Olaf?
Yeah, that guy.
I love Olaf. Again, he's to my Michigan roots.
I hate
drink
Olaf.
In my hand. The snow up against the burning sand. I love Olaf. I love the guy though. But I gotta tell you, Olaf was ruined for me when someone pointed out that he's in the live action Beauty and the Beast, because it kind of ruined the magic for me because I just saw the Beauty and the Beast guy as Olaf then.
Yeah.
But I love the live action Beauty and the Beast.
And then come on, let's go back to Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
That sequence in the ballroom. Oh my God. Disney has never been able to make me actually tear up and cry.
Brandon cries at that too, right?
Fucking movie.
He says he gets a tear.
Dude, that sequence is glorious with her singing that song. Oh my God. I love when Disney does that though.
Yeah. When
Disney actually, as one of the characters in the film, singing the song without them being on screen.
Yeah, it's
that
beautiful.
Is glorious.
It is a very, very beautiful thing.
And it feels like a film. It doesn't feel like an animated movie. Didn't they say
that was the first time that Disney had combined computer and hand drawing? Was that was the first attempt at it? And it was not only beautiful. It was glorious. It was almost Matrix style level of animation when you're combining that, like that.
Exactly.
The way they did it.
And they said that they're using
through.
They said that they were using actual like cinematography shots rather than animation style cutting and all that stuff and movement and all that, and you feel it because that sequence, all the sequences basically in the castle itself, is fucking beautiful.
So okay, so we're gonna wrap this up soon. So if you had to say, what was your number one Disney movie of all time? Doesn't have to be one we mentioned already.
Sleeping Beauty, and quickly followed by Beauty and the Beast.
Okay,
those are my two favorites, and then Pixar will go into Pixar later. That's not including Pixar. But yeah, how about you?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Really?
Yes. I love that movie, Jack and Sally. That's
what that guy's there for. You see?
I love Oogie Boogie. I love that movie so much. I would say that's my favorite, followed very, very, very closely by Little Mermaid.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I love that. So please, guys, interact with us. We're going to be posting more things like this that are a lot more interactive and a lot more. You could join us in on this conversation, and we'll be doing more like this that we'll read off the comments, give you shout outs and all that stuff. Probably every 2 weeks we'll do something like this that's really interactive. That way it gives us time to really do everything that we want to do.
What are we doing next time? Do we decide yet?
No, not yet. Maybe we could do Pixar.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Pixar?
Tell us if you want to see something in particular, if you want us to tackle.
Specifically to Pixar. Because you know what we get to do then? We get to include an ode to Tommy. Oh my God, Tommy. Oh, what my dreams are made of. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And please check us out on Midnight Movie Nerd. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's dyslexic right there.
You know, this time I was like, I'm not going to fuck it up. I'm not going to screw it up. And I was like, bleh. So, Midnight Movie Nerds on all podcast channels. This is actually going to be up there next Wednesday, so you could check it out on there if you want to. But we will be living on Facebook for all eternity.
You block my face.
I know.
Oh.
But yeah, anyways, you can check us out on there. And of course, on Manbitesmedia page, please like us. Subscribe to the channel and check us out on manbitesfilm.com too.
What?
Yeah. My name is Louis.
I am Princess Naomi.
And we are Midnight Movie Nerds.
Well, I am.
Disney Edition.
What?